What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna check out Curse Notes' most disturbing, six most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. I I'm not 100% sure how many videos of disturbing camping encounters we got, but this is the first episode for season 4. So without any further ado, let's check out what Curse Notes has with this one.
In September of 2024, a YouTuber named Megan uploaded a chilling video titled, "I was attacked in the woods by a man," to her channel Megan page. Her channel primarily documents her everyday lifestyle, and she frequently shares footage of her travels and life updates as she explores the United States. In this particular video, Megan decided to go on a solo camping trip to a forest located in Humboldt County, California. As Megan starts off her video, she mentions that the sole purpose of this trip was to take a break from her busy lifestyle and find peace and solitude in the beautiful forests of California. The first few minutes of the video feature Megan updating her viewers about everything that's going on in her life. And it does appear as though she is completely alone in the woods, as she doesn't hear or see anything unusual. However, just moments later, she suddenly started hearing footsteps coming towards her, and that's when Megan encountered something truly disturbing.
When I got home from the psychiatric facility, there were cockroaches in my bed. Can you believe that? So that's why I'm in Humboldt. I'm staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad. Every day we've been scream fighting. And then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress. And then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens. Like a true narcissist. Like the true narcissist he is. Okay, well, you scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Scared the people just to walk by and eat the stairs off the Barrens and something.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm a sweetheart. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the dark hair you're saying. You're bomb. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying. What the I'm shaking. That was scary. It was coming right at me. And so obviously I'm gonna be scared.
It's evident that a man holding a broken bottle suddenly appeared out of nowhere and approached Megan. Terrified for her life, Megan immediately picked up her camera and started distancing herself from the man. During this time, the man started talking to her and assured her that he was not there to harm anyone. However, by this point, Megan had already seen enough warning signs indicating that the man was probably up to no good. As a result, she immediately picked up her belongings and started walking away from him. It's still unclear whether the man actually meant any harm, but based on his behavior, it's very likely that he had some very sinister intentions. The man initially sneaked up on Megan while holding a broken bottle, potentially intending to harm her. But when he saw that she was recording and realized he'd been caught, he came up with an excuse for his actions and began assuring her that he wasn't a threat. Megan, however, wasn't convinced at all and wisely chose to distance herself and walk away from the man. Fortunately, the man didn't end up following her, and Megan safely made it out of the woods without any harm.
And then he's like, "You're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair and your veins."
If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. In June of 2021.
All right, so yeah, I mean, for sure. It looks pretty bad, my guy. It looks really bad. First off, you got, if you didn't see the camera, were you just strolling by? I mean, it raises the question for me, like, she wanted it to go out in the woods to be in Zen with a bong. And, like, how far did you really go? I mean, we're talking about national forest in Cali. Like, like how many? I do not know the answer to this, but how many acres could that be? And you went to the one spot where there is, you know, civilization. So to me, you didn't really go too deep into the forest, which is fine, which is fine. But that does not look good for the dude. That is 100% sure. And hey, we all need some time to get away and to like freaking gather ourselves because life, stress, society, everything is just too much. But man, like you got to be careful, girl. Like I don't know if the forest was the right place to do your thing, but hey, like lesson learned, be safe next time.
A YouTuber named Cory uploaded a terrifying video titled Ritualistic Encounter in the Backwoods to his channel The Abandoned Boys. His channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and he often shares footage of his bizarre encounters while exploring.
Dude. Yeah, hey, let's go back just a little bit. Abandoned Boys. Guys, man, let's show this guy some love because, urban exploration, fine. That's one of the things I love to do. Right now, it's like the top things I like to do. I like to go to abandoned places, explore different areas and everything. But the difference between myself and an urbex person, or not even all of them, because I know a couple of people that do urbex, but they concentrate more in the paranormal, and that is what I do. I bring in a paranormal investigation into my urban exploration. So I am curious to know if this guy is tampering within the realm of paranormal investigators. And the only reason why I'm curious is because we don't see a lot of hood dudes. I mean, I'm going by abandoned boys, right? That's like, hood dudes, black dudes messing around with the paranormal. So let's see what's up.
Was dedicated to urban exploration, and he often shares footage of his bizarre encounters while exploring various abandoned locations throughout the United States. In this particular video, Cory decided to explore a remote forest located in Martinsville, Virginia. According to Cory, the forest is rumored to have a history of being a satanic ritual site. Since then, the forest has gained a reputation for being haunted. Even now, there have been multiple reports of people performing satanic rituals in the forest at night. Despite all of this, Cory set out to explore the forest alone in the middle of the night. As he began his exploration, he ventured deep into the woods to locate the ritualistic site. However, just a few minutes into his exploration, Cory suddenly started hearing some strange noises coming from the woods, and that's when he encountered something truly disturbing.
That's some dangerous backwoods. Heard a lot of stuff goes on out here, so I'm here tonight to check it out. Come with me on this journey. Let's get it. Kind of far in, hiked in kind of far. Hopefully it all goes well, but definitely creepy. Been hearing stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. That's what we're working with tonight. Hearing something. You hear that? What the hell?
Honestly, it sounds like a cat. Now I was hearing.
Whoa.
It's a cat. But I was hearing voices.
What the Y'all hear that?
After Cory heard the strange noise, he listened intently and tried to make sense of its source. Although it's hard to pinpoint exactly what caused those strange noises, they do oddly resemble the sounds of a cat crying.
Whoa. What the Y'all hear that?
If this was
miss it.
actually the sound of a cat crying, then this encounter becomes even more alarming, especially since the forest is known to be haunted and also a place where individuals perform satanic rituals. And if anyone in the site saw Cory approaching them, things could escalate quickly. But Cory didn't think too much about this detail and eventually decided to investigate the noise. However, as he started to walk in the direction of the noise, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the forest.
Bad boys.
What's that? What the f?
I'm sorry.
Y'all seeing this? Y'all see this? What the hell is that? Hey, what's going on? Shit. Scratch this film.
After Cory followed the noises, he was startled to see a group of people dressed in all black, performing their rituals and making strange noises. Disturbingly, one of them immediately pulled out a weapon and began approaching him. After noticing the man, Cory cautiously started walking back and began distancing himself. During this time, Cory politely called out to him, but the man, without speaking a single word, continued following him. Terrified for his life, Cory immediately rushed out of the woods and managed to safely escape the man. It's still unclear why the man dressed in black was trying to harm Cory, but based on his behavior that night, it's very likely that he didn't want Cory to be that close to their ritual site. As a result, he pulled out his weapon and began following Cory. If Cory hadn't backed up or had continued approaching the individuals, they would have most likely ambushed or attacked him. Fortunately for Cory, he immediately rushed out of the forest and managed to escape the potentially dangerous situation without any harm. In December of 2024, a YouTuber named Sarah uploaded a chilling
sorry,
video.
guys. I have so much in my head, and I am trying to not make this sound so bad. But the only thing I'm gonna say, guys, is if we are like-minded, then all I'm gonna say is you do what you think is best. If you want to subscribe to this channel, go for it. Support. I'm not. That was BS through and through, dude. I mean, okay. Giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's just his reaction was off. He comes across a group of people in black cloaks. Thankfully, it was black cloaks. And he was like, "Hey guys, what like can I join you guys?" Kind of, like he was giving that kind of vibe, like, "Hey, like, dude, really? Like, if you are really by yourself and you come across that, you're gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, dude, really? I trust that the reason why there aren't many horror films with black characters because they have a better common sense to survive. And the other thing is, like, the dudes in the black cloaks, that was just a joke. No. Sorry. Obviously I've never been part of a satanic worshiping process, but I could tell you right now, that ain't what they do. No, that's not what they do. So BS for me. If you guys want to support that dude's channel, I'm not. That was disappointing.
video titled Disturbing Encounter While Solo Camping to her channel Wandering Gypsy. Sarah's channel is dedicated to outdoor exploration, and she frequently posts footage of her travels across the United States in her Jeep Wrangler.
I see.
In this particular video, Sarah set out on a solo overnight camping trip in the desert of Utah. As she begins her video, she ventures deep into the desert to find a suitable spot for her campsite. After driving for a while, Sarah discovered a secluded area and decided to set up camp for the night. Once she was all set up, she prepared her coffee and started exploring the nearby surroundings. During her exploration, Sarah was surrounded by the beautiful view of nature, and she enjoyed the peaceful and quiet surroundings. And it did appear as though she was completely alone in the desert, as she didn't hear or see anything that suggested anyone was nearby. However, just moments later, while she was walking around her campsite, Sarah suddenly spotted a red car approaching her, and that's when things started to take a turn for the worse for Sarah.
No signs of humans, no signs of wildlife, just hear a bunch of crazy birds chirping. And one of the things I like to do when setting up camp too is scoping out the place, is look on the ground for like wild animal poop. And the only poop that I see on the ground is this cow.
After Sarah saw the red car coming towards her, she immediately got back in her Jeep. Disturbingly, the car stayed at the end of the dirt road and continued blocking her exit for almost 10 minutes. By this point, Sarah had already seen enough warning signs, indicating that the man inside probably had some very sinister intentions. As a result, she was consumed with fear and anxiety over everything she was witnessing, and all she could do now was stay inside her Jeep and hope that the man inside wasn't a threat. Sarah then kept a close eye on the car, and that's when she noticed the man staring directly at her.
Well, and that's another thing I've been dealing with. For me to be sitting here at my Jeep in this secluded spot, which I'm about to leave, and then that red truck just pulls up, and the truck just continues to sit there. And then when he pulls off, his window is rolled down, and he's staring right at me when he pulls off. So just stuff like that gets under my skin. Because now I found this awesome campsite, and I have to leave. Because now I am worried and paranoid that once it gets dark or in the middle of the night, could this guy come back because he knows I'm here by myself? I'm over it. So now I have to leave and I have to go find me another campsite now.
Fortunately for Sarah, the red car eventually left her alone. However, to Sarah's absolute shock, as the car was leaving, she noticed a man wearing a mask staring directly at her. To make matters even more disturbing, Sarah later revealed that she had recently been dealing with a stalker. For the last couple of months, every time she went camping, she would notice someone stalking her from a distance. If this was the same stalker she had encountered previously, then this encounter becomes even more alarming, especially since the area where she'd been camping was located in a pretty remote part of the desert. If the man were to come back again, things could escalate quickly. But fortunately for Sarah, even though she was frustrated over what she was dealing with, she wisely chose to leave the area and safely made it out of the desert without any harm.
Like, I don't get it, you guys. Like, people like us, we're normal, right? We're normal. We only get to a certain point with frustration and anger if somebody is effing around to find out, right? But we're normal. Why are there people doing stuff like that? Like, dude, like, it seems like she's not bothering anybody, right? it doesn't seem like she is trespassing, that area is private property. I mean, I don't even want to think about the fact that is this even like real? Is it orchestrated? Like, because with the first video with the other girl, it seems like they are trying to get away, but they go to the very edge of their location, to which there is just, you know passerbys, right? Like regular people just driving off. Like, who's not to say this, but it looks bad though, my guy. Why are you staring at her with a mask? And not just a regular freaking white mask. No, but it seemed like he had a mask with the mustache. Like, what the? I mean, honestly, like, things like that should get reported to the police. If it's a stalker, report the stalker. Just start reporting dudes, man. Because honestly, like, these are things that urbex people like myself, like, we like to explore, we like to go to certain areas, but we always have to constantly have in mind that, I mean, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm also a paranormal investigator. I'm just not an urbex dude, right? I i combine the two. So I've said this time and time again, I am more afraid of the living than the dead, because at least the dead, I mean, we could walk away from, even if we get scratched or punched or pushed. But you never know the intentions of a living person. And it's just sad, man. Like, kudos to these women wanting to do something on their own solo. But as you can see, it is really dangerous for just women to just do their own thing. I mean, the guy, the abandoned boys or whatever, that fake stuff is, you know, he's good. He's fine. I mean, that was besides the fact that it's an act, but people are not going to do that to men. So I think women that wants to do these camping solo videos and stuff like that, go strapped and make sure, double tap.
In January of 2025, a British YouTuber named James uploaded a video titled "Scary Van Life Park Up Caught on Camera" to his channel by the curb. His channel primarily focuses on outdoor exploration, and he often documents footage of his everyday life as he travels across the UK in his camper van. In this particular video, James decided to go on a solo road trip to Sunderland, a city located in England. As James begins his journey, he drives all day and eventually reaches his destination. He then parks his van near the road and settles down. As night begins to set in, James decides to call it a night and eventually goes to sleep. However, just moments later, he was suddenly awakened by noises coming from outside his van, and that's when James encountered something truly disturbing.
You're going to take it to be sections, I'll put me stick to this front. No, I'll try to see it to the front. That's an old one. And you see a on the front, his father was a Briton. His father, his grandfather, with a Pitman and on the back. Did not work no one. I'm not the third door. I'm not the private rig. I'm not a Hurst is the English footballer. I'm not a reef, I don't know what it means. You can see it when you put on the dead people who you're supposed to love. Fun stuff, I haven't never heard before. I've got a new modern technology. You've got fucking stuff like this on there. You're a cameraman.
After James heard someone knocking and looked out of his window, he was startled to see a man shouting and staring directly at him. Although it's hard to comprehend what he was saying, his aggressive tone indicated that the man was yelling some pretty harsh things towards James, and he probably had some very sinister intentions. The man continued yelling and kept on knocking on the window for almost 10 minutes. By this point, James had no idea whether to stay inside or go out and confront him. However, since he wasn't carrying anything to protect himself, and considering the man could easily be carrying a knife or any other weapon, he He ultimately decided the smartest thing to do was to stay inside the van, and all James could do now was hope the man would go away on his own.
So I've got some nutter shouting outside van. Look at my shoes on.
Yo, videos like this gets me angry, dude.
It's still there, look. It's coming back.
This guy gotta be under some sort of influence, whether it be alcohol, whether it be substances.
Fortunately for James, the man did get tired of yelling and eventually left him alone. It's hard to determine whether the man was trying to break into the van or trying to harm James, but based on his actions that night,
This effery, he scribbled "I love you." Did you guys read that? This guy's obviously under some sort of substance and stuff like this. But yo, man, like, I don't know. I am curious to know what are the laws for self-defense.
it's most likely that the man was under the influence. The man initially approached the camper van, and as soon as he realized James was inside, he started knocking and yelling at James, potentially intending to provoke and lure him to get out of the van. However, James made the wise choice of not getting out of his van to confront the man, because encounters of this nature often end with campers getting harassed or even attacked by people with sinister intentions. Fortunately for James, he managed to avoid the potentially dangerous situation without getting harmed. In July,
That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. That really irks me. Really irks me. And it's almost like, faith is amongst them because they always choose the right ones to mess with. I would love to come across a video where they come across the right ones. And I want to see that altercation. That's going to make me feel good if I was to come across. You know what? If I come across the video like that, I'm going to react to it. It has nothing to do with paranormal, just revenge.
of 2024, a YouTuber named Darina uploaded a video titled "Scary Place in the Haunted Pine Barrens" to her channel The Walking Cam. Darina's channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and she often shares footage of her exploring various haunted and abandoned locations throughout the United States. In this particular video, Darina set out to explore the ruins of the abandoned Silica Sand Company, located in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. For anyone unfamiliar with this location, the Pine Barrens covers approximately 1.1 million acres and represents about 22% of New Jersey's total land area. The location is also known for its numerous well-maintained trails and campsites and is a popular destination for hikers and campers. However, the Pine Barrens' dense forest has historically provided cover for illicit activities and criminal operations, contributing to its reputation as a place where crime could go undetected. Despite all this, Darina decided to go on a solo exploration of the Pine Barrens. As she begins her video, she ventures deep into the woods to locate the abandoned ruins. After walking for a while, she finally discovered the ruins and found that the various machinery and equipment had been severely damaged, and whatever remained was covered with creepy graffiti and writings. Darina then left the ruins and decided to venture further into the woods. However, this is when she stumbled upon something extremely disturbing.
I got a red flag.
It's evident that numerous trees are plastered with posters of missing people. This detail is particularly alarming given that the area where Darina discovered these posters is located in a very remote part of the forest. Along with the fact that the pine barrens are known to have a history of criminal activity, indicating that the individual responsible for putting up the posters could be a criminal or even a serial killer. Some serial killers are known to leave clues at crime scenes intentionally, seeking notoriety or a challenge for law enforcement. It's also possible the posters were placed by the suspect to mislead investigators and deter them from the actual crime scene. However, these claims are merely my own theory and haven't been confirmed or verified. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether what Darina discovered in the woods was simply an elaborate prank or something more sinister. In October,
Here's my red flag. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that either is like one of the weirdest, most modern type of paper that does not get damaged or keeps itself clean and new for a very, depending on, I mean, you're in the middle of a forest and the papers, even the tape looks like it's brand new. Like, that's a flag for me. Who's not to say she was the one that set the whole entire thing up and just to make a video. But granted, here is another thing that got me confused about that video. Why is she blurring out her face if she uploaded this video into her channel that the other videos, I mean, her whole information is on her channel, but you decide you're going to blur your face for this one? That doesn't make sense. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but way too many red flags for me. I think this was all orchestrated and she did it for the clout. It's a cool plot to a movie, don't get me wrong, but this particular video, I think it's fake.
Of 2023, a British YouTuber named Mike uploaded a rather bizarre video titled "The Woods I Will Never Camp In Again" on his channel Novice Wild Camper. Mike's channel is all about wild camping, with frequent videos showcasing his camping experiences in different parts of the UK. In this particular video, Mike decided to go on a solo overnight camping trip in the woods somewhere in the UK. Mike begins his video by venturing deep into the woods to find a good place to camp for the night. While exploring, he stumbles upon some peculiar footprints on the trail. He figures they must belong to a dog walker and continues on his way. After walking for a while, Mike finds a good spot and sets up his campsite. After setting up his camp, he shows his viewers the various camping gear he'd brought, and this is when he mentions hearing some strange noises nearby, but yet again he dismisses them, thinking it's just a small animal and doesn't think much of it. As the night begins to set in, Mike enjoys his dinner and decides to go to bed. However, at around 3 a.m., Mike was suddenly awakened by a series of rocks hitting the side of his tent, and this is when things take a very disturbing turn for Mike.
There's a huge amount of noises around here. Sounds like Bigfoot was throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits. But yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning. Right, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. 3 o'clock, it just started hammering it down with rain. After the rain started, I could just hear crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped. But the weirdest thing was, suddenly by my hammock, massive thud hits the ground. I jumped up and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there. And I'm just laying there listening. And then another one. This went on 3 or 4 times at least. And then a large branch hit my tarp. And every time I jumped up and got out, there was no movement, there was no nothing now. But this has completely freaked me out.
Mike mentioned that he heard rocks hitting his tent and heard some strange noises that were getting louder and louder, leading him to believe something or someone was closing in on him. However, when he went outside to investigate, the noises would suddenly stop. But as soon as he went back inside, the noises would start again. Disturbed by these bizarre encounters, he left his campsite and went back to his car. He anxiously stayed in his car until sunrise and eventually returned to his campsite. However, as he tried to make sense of what he had just witnessed, he heard the strange and mysterious noises once again.
This is seriously the weirdest forest I've ever camped in. I got back here and suddenly the tree next to me just crashes and the bushes are all shaking, but there's nothing in it. There's nothing there. It's full of creatures and animals running around. Things are just crashing down around me. It's all quiet, then suddenly it happens. I don't like it here. I'm getting packed up. I'm under my tarp, cracking up my quilt, and there's this crash behind me. This doesn't land coming down. It bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out. I am never coming back here again.
After hearing the strange noises for the second time, Mike, afraid for his life, immediately packed up his belongings and left the woods. On his way back to his car, he suddenly ran into someone walking near the woods, and their brief encounter quickly took a very disturbing turn.
I just got back to the car, and bearing in mind this road is like a dead-end road. No one comes down here, and for the entire night, no one had come down here. So, but I've come down here, and as I've stepped out of the woods, literally the entrance to go in there is just there. And there's a man just walking down the road by me, and he saw me, and he went, "All right." And I was like, "All right." He went, "You been camping in the woods?" I said, "Yeah, just a little hammock camp." And he says, "You went, you're brave." I said, "Why is that?" And he went, "People have done it before, no one's lasted." I said, "What do you mean?" And he just laughed, and he went, "You know what I mean." I walked off. But yeah, I won't pinpoint it to say, avoid this place, but I'm never going to come back here again.
The man mentioned that Mike was brave to have spent the night in the woods, and when Mike asked why, he told him about the dark history of deaths there, and then just walked off. The man's identity and the truthfulness of his claims remain unknown, but to be safe, Mike kept the location of the woods a secret from his viewers to avoid them from going in there. It is still unclear whether Mike's experience was paranormal or something more sinister like a serial killer lurking in the woods. However, the lack of information about the man in the woods leaves the source of Mike's strange experience a complete mystery.
Well, that was very interesting. But, I mean, I'm not an ex-camper hiking outdoorsy expert, but I have been out and about in the wilderness, trying to get to a location. And if it's bad weather, raining, windy, what it seems like there, it does tend to knock down branches, possibly move some, you know, leaves and stuff. The forest wakes up. That's all I'm going to say. He seems like an expert, right? He goes all over the place. So all of this stuff, let's go by what he is experiencing, and something weird is going on. Cool. All right. So I have a question. When you are recording yourself getting to this location, why do I've seen this numerous of times? Why do people put like a camera to record themselves walking away? I mean, you already are recording yourself down this trail and you're going to camp somewhere. Why not just set up the camera there so people can see you? Because I understand that you want to get in front of the camera. Not all the time, like me. I'm mostly behind the camera. But the process though. You put a camera, you set it up, you record yourself walking a little bit far. Then you have to walk back to get your camera, edit the walk to make it half shorter. I don't know. But let's get back to the real reason why. So, yeah. You know what? I am a firm believer that Bigfoots and cryptids, there are animals out there that are just very good in hiding, exists. He could have been a potential meal for a predator. Now, I wouldn't say it's a regular predator because it never showed itself. It always kept its distance, and every time it comes out, ballsy, he doesn't see nothing. So it tells me that there is something a little bit more paranormal going on there for him to hear it so close, step out and not see nothing. I mean, if it's, I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like really dark, damn near without light, you won't be able to see your hand right in front of your face. So it's like, how much did you really investigate to find out what is causing the noises? But you know what? With that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with that question. Do you guys think that it's something paranormal? Do you guys think it was an animal, or do you guys think it was all orchestrated? So I think I'm gonna go with number one. I just don't know what. But I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. With that being said, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.